Thank you. We will open the meeting of the Bakersfield Planning Commission at 7:08 p.m. And we have an agenda before us. Are there any adjustments to the agenda? Okay, no. We'll introduce ourselves. We'll start at the end with Tammy.
Tammy Brennan, Nikki Cribb,
Ken Carter.
Great, thanks all. And we will start with the final hearing for Maria DeRocha and Allen Minor subdivision. That you folks? That's you, okay. And we have to ask you to come up to the front and use the microphone if you don't mind. So you're Maria? That's, we can call you that, okay? Great, thanks.
So I just saw the folder that this got passed in 2012, which
Yes.
apparently Bill and I were here for, but
Yeah, never got recorded.
don't remember at all. But can you just run through I mean, we've got the Mylar here, which looks pretty self-explanatory, but can you kind of talk about what it was exactly, or?
My grandfather had it subdivided into that. I think Mike Jarvis did it.
Yeah.
In 2012, and then I tried to sell the property, and I just went into looking into it and realized it was never actually recorded as a subdivision.
Huh.
So that's basically all.
Yeah, I just want to get it filed.
Yeah, I want to get it filed. Yeah.
So it's a 2-acre.
That's like a 10.
Does your grandfather still own the big
No,
part?
I own both of it.
Oh, you own it all now?
Yeah, it's just seen as 13 acres. Like on my tax map and
Plus or
everything.
minus, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this one's 10.3 and 2, so it's 12.3 according to this.
Yeah.
The replacement septic. Looks like you know all the neighbors.
Yeah, I do.
Is that your house on the 2 acres, or?
Yes.
And you want to keep them separate? Or are you going to keep the whole property, or are you trying to sell the other?
I'm gonna be selling the whole thing to one person,
Mhm.
but they just wanted to make sure the subdivision was actually done
Okay,
and recorded.
Yeah.
In case they ever wanted to do anything. I don't think they're planning on doing anything with them separately.
okay.
Um,
You guys want to see this? Yeah. What do you think?
So thanks for sharing that again. That was 11 years ago.
Nothing's changed, no. It's the same. Yeah.
And, oh, go ahead.
does it matter that the owners are different there? Because this still has Holden Down listed?
Well, that's a
That's-
butter, yeah.
Because that's the survey, but the new neighbors have been all notified.
So they were notified of this meeting tonight.
Yes.
Okay, so they had an opportunity to come and make
Correct.
any good, yeah. So we're trying to make up for a mistake that occurred 11 years ago,
Right.
which is that this was heard and decided on. It was actually decided on in favor. That's why the Mylar was produced. And we haven't signed it yet for the planning commission, so we need that stamp for that purpose, and we'll do that.
Has that Mylar been here all since?
No, I
you know?
had it.
Oh, okay.
I realized I had a big stack of stuff my grandfather gave me when we bought the house, and I didn't know that was really in there.
Okay. Cute, that makes it
Yeah.
little, that's,
So happens when you buy your grandfather's house and a lot of stuff's still in it.
my kids, yeah.
So I guess. I don't know if you've, so you said you were trying to sell and you've talked to the buyer, and they would like to have this completed. Do you know if their buyer's bank has looked at this to be comfortable, or would this be just the start of that process?
they're not going through a bank, it's a cash offer.
Okay, okay, because the reason I ask is that sometimes, if not always, the lending institution wants to have a clear title and
Yeah.
other documents associated with it.
Right.
And since it's a cash offer, then it doesn't, as long as the buyer is satisfied.
Yeah, and they're well aware of me coming here and me finding this, and they've seen the Mylar themselves and everything.
Right. And is that the file for this
Yes,
from
it is.
originally?
Yep.
And no decision is in there. It's just the permit.
This is just information, it looks like mostly, yeah.
I thought it said it was approved.
It said it was
does say- I think we looked, didn't we find it, Tammy? You and Kathy?
I'm sure,
It said that we approved it.
I'm pretty sure.
Well, I mean, I believe we did, yeah, if that's. Yeah. Move to approve, Steve seconded, yeah.
Steve Maynard?
Mhm.
Wow, I don't even know if I was here. Oh, no, I was, must have been very early, yeah. Wow,
He was,
okay,
he wasn't on for very long.
11 years.
okay, yeah. All right, so you did the original motion.
Yeah, I
Let's-
removed to make this, approve this subdivision.
All right,
Yeah.
is there a second?
Second.
All right, Tammy seconds. So, is there further discussion?
Do you have a stamp?
You got the key to the, or John, you got the key to the office?
So before we do, why don't we just go ahead and vote?
Yeah.
Then we'll get that done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the stamp for the planning commission. So all in favor of reapproving the final hearing for Maria DeRocha for the Allen Minor subdivision, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? None, so it passes 4-0. And we appreciate you keeping the record and glad we could sort it out.
Final, right?
We're gonna get a stamp for the Mylar. And sign that. Are
Okay.
you here for the Crawford Woods minor subdivision?
Yeah.
Great. Why don't you come up, sir? And what's your name? Adam Woods?
Yeah. Well, PC member.
Great. Ooh, look at that. Tiny.
Now,
Okay.
They have the
Alright, so-
number.
Yep.
In the package?
Yeah, I believe it's
Yeah, you wanna take a look at them?
12. Yeah, PC dash 02 dash 12.
It was kind of weird, but.
That's now weird.
But I can't sign it back then. I was not the chair then.
I'm gonna take it.
All right.
She can be
Great.
recorded tomorrow.
Yes. Very good. So as soon as Ken comes back, Mr. Woods will get started.
We don't have the Mylar yet, I guess that would be for the next hearing, but.
Right. So this is a couple of plans. So the copies.
Two there?
I thought it was, but maybe I'm wrong.
Heavy paper.
It is just heavy paper.
Yeah.
Tell you what. Why don't I turn off my machine here. And then. So if everybody wants to come up and circle around the plans. These chairs just don't move. It's like fixed to the floor. So while you got us standing,
Yes.
you wanna go through what you got here?
10 acres off of our 60. With 276 feet of road frontage. And this is from our original survey here from 1976 or something, but it's redrawn because of this.
Mhm.
The septic plan there too, it shows you exactly where, but yeah, there we go.
And those little maps right there. Right there, that have a rubber band, on, those are those.
Oh,
Got more.
all right.
Oh, boy.
So that way we don't have to share
Yeah, there we go.
one for Tammy. One for Nick, you get the big one.
Oh, you're the chair.
We'll keep this one for the file. Is that all right if we keep this?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Other documents related to the wastewater system. That's been permitted and approved by the state.
Yeah, it doesn't have. Oh, yeah, so it's-
Did the state send you a copy of that permit?
this is focused in on this part of
State
it.
sent you-
That's not the whole.
Uh-huh, yeah, this is kind of cut off
Right,
here a little
right.
bit, yeah.
Mostly the proposed.
Yes,
house.
right.
Right,
Although we don't have a lot of the. This, I think it's cut off,
Right.
kind of weird.
Is that it? Oh, good.
I'm assuming when Mike does the final, it's gonna be more this map than this one, right? Cause this only has probably 3 acres of.
Right, right. Actually, I haven't finished surveying.
Uh,
Okay.
Okay.
Surveyed like this line to here,
uh,
and then they've come to that point.
so
No,
is
they've
he-
come
he's,
to this point.
yeah, he's
They're
not
still-
resurveying yours, is he? The whole
No,
thing? No.
no, he's still missing these 3 lines here, but
What he's planning to do to get the acreage.
yeah. I
Uh,
think they do it all. By drone or something. I don't know how they map it, but they don't always walk.
They are passed on.
They,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, they gotta find like the rebar,
Mhm.
there's another
Yeah.
rebar here.
Yeah,
And so-
they've set a bunch of pins. That one's there, that one's there. They got a lot of pins.
Uh-huh.
This one they relocated, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 so far. So
Uh-huh.
we're just missing these 2 on the northern end.
Okay,
I have no doubt they'll have that ready for us
that's the
because you
plan.
can't print the Mylar until. Right.
Yeah,
So this
yeah,
is
right.
the existing and it has its replacement septic.
Right, right, that's a condition of subdivision. now, I
Right, so
guess.
this is going to take the old septic and use it.
No, this is the septic for the new lot.
Okay, so.
So our septic.
Oh, the
is
existing is in here.
pre-existing.
Yeah.
This is our house, so this is where they say we gotta have our
So
replacement.
this is for when this one
Yeah.
fills, you can go
Yeah,
there. Okay.
exactly.
And this one doesn't need a replacement site or?
Apparently not. I don't see that in the plan anywhere.
Mhm.
Yeah, I thought of the regulations were just that you had to show septic for both.
Right,
If you didn't already have it, then you wouldn't need to
Right.
show another one, but
right. Well,
showing that replacement is a good thing
I
anyway.
think it's a good thing.
Shows you got
for
permeable soil there.
The future,
Yeah,
you know, because there's a lot of septic systems that are on their end of their life, I'm sure. So,
What are these two?
so it's allowed 2, there's like a, secondary dwelling, but I think if humanity was their first place, you're good,
Uh-huh,
but permitted for 2.
two house
Yeah.
sites?
No, it's like a, apartment.
Oh,
caretaker.
mother-in-law. or
2
something.
bedrooms, so 1 bedroom here, 1 bedroom there.
And they're both on the same septic.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I think I think they can even share a tank there.
yeah. It must be, is this like a 2-bedroom permit?
Mm-hmm. Boy, all this all here, if you're interested.
Mm. Oops. So she hasn't applied for the building permit yet, or?
No, I thought we had to get approval from
Uh-huh.
the code
Uh-huh.
first. There's all the description of the-
Yes. The one right in front of the gentleman's home.
I thought, put it down or the.
Mhm.
Mound.
This is the first time I've ever seen two
Mhm. Building.
structures for a
Same mound.
residence.
Yeah.
But I guess it's like building two apartments, but they're separate from
Yeah.
one another.
A duplex that's not connected.
Right,
Yeah,
Two tiny
I
houses.
think she's looking to the future.
well,
She's
and,
got some kids and, someday she might
Yeah.
want that
right,
studio.
Right.
And
and we're
it's
also,
expensive to do any septic
Yeah.
and even to do the paperwork to design, it makes sense to.
right,
Because you wouldn't want to go back for another $5,000.
right.
Where does it say 2 bedroom,
Oh, it says 2 1-bedroom units is what I see here.
like on your water one?
You'll see it.
You seen that on here?
No, proposed 1-bedroom, proposed 1-bedroom.
Oh, it's
Mm.
it's a mound.
Yeah, almost everything today is a mound. There's
Only
virtually,
Kirk.
virtually no, well, maybe down here in the village, we're all the same.
You wanna turn on your mic there, Tammy's, or Nikki? There you go.
But pretty rare in my experience, there's any conventional stuff.
They're designing it for, as if it was a
Why doesn't
2-bedroom,
say this on here, on the permit itself?
single family
2 bedroom.
residence.
Seems like you would just call it two separate,
Okay.
but then they would be two separate properties. This is just two separate dwellings on the same property.
This is the one, proposed and proposed. This is your existing.
Like an in-law suite.
proposed and
Right.
proposed.
A attached in-law suite.
It's like a built-in fixed area allocation.
Okay.
Okay, Maria's lived there. Exterior.
I think I was okay.
2 acres out of it.
Maybe that was why we never got a paper out of it.
I'm just gonna copy the wastewater permit.
Yes,
Okay, good, good.
great.
That's a file.
So beyond the Mylar. What do I need?
So you're hoping for the final here, right? Well, obviously we've got to finish the survey.
Right.
There's a whole list of
Yeah.
requirements for the final plat
Yeah.
that are in the bylaws
Mhm.
for a subdivision.
Right.
And for boundary line adjustment, you treat it as a subdivision.
Right.
And the kinds of things are listed there. I don't want to say that these are all inclusive. But they're utilities,
Michael usually don't know.
yeah, Michael, the one that he frequently misses are the gradients. Yeah, the contour lines, because that often will help us understand if there's any waste, wetlands.
You've actually got them on here.
Yeah, you've got them here.
Yeah, so it's just that on this drawing here, they're not there, and
No.
this is the one that's fuller.
Right.
And so just when it gets to be the full extent of all properties involved, we want to make sure that we get those conflicts.
Okay.
And
So with this.
Yeah, these are what we're looking for, but it's obviously this isn't the full map, so when we make
Oh,
the
right.
final
Right.
Mylar, those are gonna
Okay.
be on there.
right, and this gives us a sense of how much of the property can be developed or not because of the ridge. Also, we have some limitations. Generally speaking, people are not going to put dwellings anywhere where we can't get into the ledge.
Yeah.
But you don't have any evidence of that until you get in maybe over here a little bit.
This is like where the tank's gonna be, and then it goes out to the mound, this is mound system out here.
Yeah, and that's pretty crucial here, this distance is set back from the boundary line.
Right.
And there's proposed well here, drilled well, and again, that's gotta have that 100-foot setback.
This is the wellhead here, I
Mhm.
guess. Septic,
And it's 10 acre zoning.
yeah,
there.
got the frontage.
Yeah,
Um,
so, I think what might be good, considering where we are with this, might be to think of this as just a sketch. As opposed to being ready for final. I think it would be useful for us to see the final. Before we actually vote on that, that's just my
Mhm.
opinion.
Mhm.
Usually these come to us and we look for final and we've got almost everything is there.
Mhm.
And all it really needs to be is transferred to Mylar.
Usually Mike comes. and
Yeah,
explains a
yeah,
lot.
and so I don't think you're too far from that.
Yeah,
So maybe we could just have one more hearing on that final plot, but. We should have a motion relative to the sketch.
so we want the contours on.
And the final.
well, yeah, the survey's gotta be finished, basically, I mean, that's,
Yeah, that's the key.
did he say when he's thinking about finishing that up, or?
I'll be in touch with him tomorrow.
Uh,
And he knows
Hey,
exactly
can
what we
I
need.
just bring the Mylar in to,
Well, you can't really do the Mylar until we've
And the final.
seen the
Yeah.
actual.
What could happen is that if you come back in October. With a
The final mile.
Mylar that has everything on it,
yep,
then we could. Approve the final and sign the Mylar that night.
And that can get.
Uh,
Kind of like we just did with
Just like we did with
Yeah.
Maria.
yeah,
The real important thing is that your surveyor go through that entire table of what's required.
Mhm.
Because you don't want to have
We
the
miss it.
Mylar
yeah,
done off of a paper plat that is not complete.
mhm.
At the same time, you could come in with a paper final, we could approve that, and then you could just have the Mylar done afterwards.
Okay,
And that way, and we can sign the Mylar anytime after. So the
so,
Mylar is really just to have a permanent
Right.
file.
right, on record.
Right. So the real key decision you want is
Mhm.
on the final plat,
Okay,
and that could be paper.
okay, but for October, you would like to see this, all the boundaries on the map.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It doesn't show the
And
entire
frontage.
lot.
right. It's more like this.
Yeah, so you'd like to see all my boundaries as well?
Yeah, we need to see the
On the-
butters,
Fine.
and we need to see any
Contour.
services. The same things that are already here.
Power.
Yeah,
Uh-huh,
Water.
yeah, power is the key one.
Mhm.
Water is already here as is septic.
power's not there yet, the power ends down by my house.
And that would be useful to,
Yeah,
describe how that's going to be
yeah,
incorporated in. It doesn't have to be shown in a final configuration. As long as maybe there's some indication that that's the power line that will be tapped for services to.
mhm.
Gonna run some wires, right like
Yeah,
that.
I was going up the road here, trying to get a variance from the neighbor to set one pole here.
Yeah.
And then the final pole is gonna go here somewhere and then.
Right,
under
that's why it's all, that's one of those services.
That part is still theoretical,
Uh-huh.
because I don't know. Whether both poles are gonna go on our side or one is gonna go on Heibel's side over here, so.
Mhm.
That's why that's an important service to show is you want to get it approved. Because you don't want it to be in a configuration that's inaccurate because you couldn't get the final agreement with the other neighbor.
Mhm.
And then that inaccuracy causes somebody to
Right.
jam somewhere down the
Well,
road.
I'm not sure how much longer I wanna wait for it, so I may just show them both on our side of the road.
Is this where your water comes from?
Yeah.
So this is Paul here, or?
Yeah, we got a deeded.
Yeah, I think that's, so he owns all that on that side.
Let's get down to that.
So Paul and John, are they like brothers?
They are like brothers.
Oh.
Yeah,
I didn't know there were two of them up there.
they're both out of town
Uh-huh, like
permanently.
California, right?
Yeah, well, John lives down in Boston, so.
Oh, he's closer, okay.
Yeah, so a couple of those.
Okay,
what's-
contours and the entire.
Yeah.
Everything.
Survey done, yeah, I would
You want to do it like that,
pretty much, yeah,
but on a bigger scale.
more complete.
And it
With
can,
all the
and it
details,
can be paper.
all the bells and whistles.
I think you'd be better off doing it with paper just because.
And
Yeah.
Yeah, because the Mylar is a little more expensive than. the-
anything you see that needs to be added could still be added at
Exactly.
that point.
Right, right.
And usually Mike's been good about all that.
Yeah.
You know, he usually sends in that final map. I'm surprised he sent you.
And
that.
so if we were, so. I guess we could talk about it now. The next meeting
Yeah,
is October.
but I think we're gonna have to bump it to the third Monday again. Only because we don't have.
Kind of
enough time to
holiday.
do it.
It's a warning thing. We need 15 days.
Uh-huh.
Because,
We won't have-
Marcel Parent also wants a final. So in order to get the 15 days on both of them,
What's the first Monday? What's the?
Second.
Yeah, it's only-
yeah, it's only like,
So we have a month
13
that you need.
days.
Well, it is exactly 2 weeks from today,
yeah, but it's gotta be published
2 weeks before
15 days before the
15.
meeting, so. Today's,
18.
Yes.
um. I wouldn't get it in tomorrow, the
Right.
messenger, it'd have to go in Friday. So that's already 4 days into your 14.
All right, so we'll. Likely,
You'll let me know.
no, well, I think we're gonna make a decision
Okay.
tonight to go with the 16th. Is everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, it'll be October 16th. We wanna make sure, we wanna make sure you have the notice in your favor
Yeah.
to get your hearing heard.
So you have to warn
Yeah.
the property owner and put it in the paper.
So the 16th.
Yes. And
You've got
some other places.
You have to mail out did you
you,
mail out? to the
you end up
neighbors?
in,
Does he have to notify the butters
I
again or?
think they do for final, isn't that terrible?
Yeah.
But I was hoping you'd be able, I thought Mike, because they've asked a couple times about this meeting, and I'm like, yep, I put it in as preliminary / final, just in case we approved it.
Yeah.
We've done the warning already and we could go ahead, but we're not approving it yet, so we've got to
But
do it again.
Isn't it always a two-step process?
almost always for
Sometimes-
bigger projects, it's pretty rare. We've had them, in
Sometimes
fact, Mike
for
come
minor.
in
Uh-huh.
with everything done.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
And it's
And
the
it was
preliminary
just a-
and final.
minor subdivision, which yours is.
Pretty
We've been able to do it in one. So I did just in case, thinking we might be able to just do it.
Okay, I don't mind coming back. I'll bring Mike if necessary.
He does come up
He's helpful.
sometimes, yeah. He's obviously done this many times.
Yeah, if there's anything weird about the survey, that might be good.
Yeah.
But as long as you don't find anything weird, you might be able to
Yeah, I
represent.
mean, it looks pretty straightforward. It's just the scale's not.
It's not complicated, it doesn't involve rights of way or,
No, it's not.
Right, it's just a minor. One lot.
So
We'll
I,
get posted on the
yeah, I
preliminary.
think we approve this preliminary with a couple conditions, one being survey gets finished. The power.
So you want to approve it tonight then?
This is preliminary.
we're,
Oh,
we're voting on a preliminary, all right, he's making a motion on a preliminary sketch.
The power, I guess the power
Contours.
lines, contours,
Power lines,
survey.
Survey. yeah.
finished, completed survey.
I'll second that.
All right. Any further discussion? All right, hearing none, all in favor of accepting this as a preliminary sketch plan. And a final could be made later with a final survey, power shown on the map with contours at the October meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Uh,
Aye.
And any opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? Okay, 4-0 is our final vote. And so, number 9 is our, schedule. We're gonna make that October,
That's
16th.
wetland, I think,
No,
or something, wetland
another
exclusion.
spring there.
Mhm.
That's one of the problems when you get out of.
I know,
Regular.
because if you warning.
Right. Right.
Did you ever?
Right.
So I got 3 springs. I don't know if he shows, there's another one down here.
The
yeah.
storage.
Hill, and then I finally went over here and found
Good.
a lot of water.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's water,
Yeah.
not enough. I think you have to show them
Yeah,
in order to locate the replacement.
Mhm, right.
Yeah, they seem pretty thorough on that.
yeah. they're very
Yeah,
good.
he is usually very thorough and. I'm a little surprised he thought that this was gonna be enough for you tonight, but.
So will you let me know the date of the hearing once you?
It'll be the
find-
16th of October,
October 16th.
Monday, October 16th. It'll get warned for that day.
Yeah. And,
When does she plan on starting to build or wants to?
For the snow fly.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well,
Good
you
luck
know,
with that.
in
pretty tight.
Bakersfield, you can have 2 dwellings on one property. So she probably could begin the permit process.
I can-
building.
I can apply for the building permit, right? For her. She's in Colorado, so
Right, she,
I'm the
She
point
came in.
man. Yes, you met her. Yeah, and can I start the mound system too?
I really find it highly unlikely you're not going to get our
yeah,
approval.
I mean, even if you didn't, you just own it all.
Yeah. Right, right.
So, I think.
Yeah.
If I,
It's just not.
we're not giving you advice, but I
No,
would say that you came really close to having everything we needed tonight. It's just not quite.
Not quite.
And because we have faith in both you and Jarvis and Barnard and Jarvis,
mhm,
we figure we're gonna get what we need. But it's really up to you all. You need to take the steps so that you can follow through.
right, right. I'm pretty sure everything's in order, but
Yeah.
it's also time sensitive with excavation and dirt.
Yeah.
So if I can get the bigger
Get that
guy.
started.
Right, I would,
Dave,
yeah. If it was me, I wouldn't be
You on
worried.
his list already? Or?
I'm on his list, so,
That's important, because
Oh, yeah.
getting people,
oh, yeah.
getting tradespeople is tough.
Yeah, very. Take them when you can get them.
All right.
We're doing this now.
Mary.
All right. So we're all set. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Sure enough. So we had minutes from
Yep.
last.
That was the quickest meeting of the century.
Yeah, it was.
Right.
You want to do that one?
Yes, I'll put it in the file here, so let's.
I get a paper copy going of,
Oh, yeah, it's usually basically a
You were on call.
paper
That's
copy of the
liquid,
Mylar.
just in case.
So that's probably what we'll end up doing.
we'll hold on to my wire until after the
You
meeting.
better, because it'll just be another,
Okay.
Yeah, and if he could do it the next week and I could sign it.
Yeah,
Just drop by, I could just drop by here and sign it.
okay.
So it's really just a, yes, sir.
20, 30, 35, we'll get to it, we'll sign it.
Okay. All right. Appreciate it.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, don't take our earlier hearing as a representation of.
I've been good to you. Thanks, folks.
You too. All right, so we have minutes from our last meeting, which was 9 minutes, 7:09 to 7:18. It's there and any motion on that?
I motion to accept the minutes from.
Good.
That day, August 21.
And
Yep,
all right, we'll say that yep is a.
I second.
And all in favor, say aye.
Multitask.
Bye.
Aye. Any opposed, nay, abstentions,
Me, because I wasn't here.
right? And so it passes 3-0. And is there a report from Brenda other than she's
No,
In the
I haven't
hospital?
gotten any information.
she's in the emergency department?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got an email, I think it was from her about the landing strips. Did you guys? get that?
Something about, I didn't understand it.
information that we should gather, those are things that are happening.
Private.
If we wanted to.
I can't imagine anywhere around here where people can land a plane.
There is one up on Quits Gore Row or the,
Is it really?
yeah, the Cold Hollow Ranch.
Huh.
They used to, the guy that owned the Free Press, that was his lane. I guess he used to fly out here in the weekends back in the day.
Wow,
I don't really know if it's still open or active or anything, but.
right.
I think she was thinking like with the town revision, the plan. If we want
Oh.
to include anything regarding things like that.
It's, yeah, it seemed like there's a group that's sort of trying to gather information
Yeah.
on what towns have these or what towns have any bylaws about these kind of
Yeah,
things.
and maybe putting in some kind of bylaw or something.
Wow.
Maybe she can explain it next time she's here a little better or something, but.
So, yeah, that's kind of related. I won't say anything further because it's not on the agenda, but next meeting, I'm gonna ask Emily Cloft from the Northwest Regional Planning Commission about the revision of the town plan. So we're gonna probably put in a grant request for that.
Do you know how we get tax maps updated? Like,
I think
what
that
tax
they're
maps-
being updated, but I think Northwest Regional Planning Commission,
They do that?
I believe they're the ones. I don't know, maybe because they're tax maps that come from the Department of Treasury. I just don't know. I know that they do all the other maps that we have at Northwest Regional Planning.
Maybe we can ask her when she's here.
Yeah, absolutely. She should know.
Super old and shredded.
Yeah, no, that'd be good.
What about those June minutes? You wanna?
Oh, so
Those were on the website before.
I don't think we didn't approve them last time because we.
Oh, we didn't.
I wasn't here at that meeting, so we couldn't approve it.
Okay.
have a quorum to. So I sent them with the last
Yeah.
email. Did anybody see any problem with
I
them?
read them, I didn't see.
No.
Okay, so we need to review the June 6th. July 6th, I'm sorry, July 6 minutes. Any motion on that?
I'll make a motion.
So Nikki makes motion to accept. And is there a second?
I guess it will be me.
Okay,
Second.
thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
It's 3-0. You abstain because you were not here.
Yep, I got it now.
Great. All right, so no zoning administrator report.
No.
We've decided October 16th for the next meeting. So I think we're all set. Anything else anyone has?
This one. And then Marcel's coming with his PUD final hearing. For that.
Okay, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I thought that was gonna go away, but
My driver sons and stuff and wanted to, they wanted to be on this one, but it wasn't enough time.
for the PUD.
for that.
So, everybody's okay with me inviting Emily to the next?
Yes.
meeting?
Yeah.
And, we will talk about the town meeting, town plan revision. So usually what happens is you get a grant for the town plan revision, then the year later you get a grant, separate grant for the bylaws. If you want. Usually it makes sense to do your bylaws after the town plan. You don't have to though. The town plan is the thing that has a date required. But we could decide that after we get through the town plan. So no, so there's changes that are occurring in the regional plan that was just approved a couple of weeks ago. And that will be part of what we'll be looking at, like there's new stuff on energy. On, well, not energy, actually, housing is the big one.
Like lots sizes or just
Well-
ease of approval for.
Trying to make it so that it's more, less onerous to get approval for
Mhm.
additional housing, like putting in a quote unquote mother-in-law apartment,
Oh, the accessories.
accessory dwellings, and making bylaws fit that sort of stuff.
Mm.
So the town plan doesn't really have to get into the regulatory side of it. It really gets into the policy side where you want to do all you can. That's why it's probably likely we would consider bylaw change if there's any bylaws that look like that they're somewhat restrictive.
Mm.
I'm not familiar with any that are restrictive in our area.
Is regional gonna look at that and sort of maybe highlight?
Yeah, that would be a good thing for her to tell us about, is what she thinks we would likely need to revise for a greater depth versus other chapters, which would likely not need as much revision based on changes in the state regulations, regional planning.
So I guess one of the big ones too would be the whole cannabis industry.
That came out.
Actually,
Yeah.
yeah, it's I had.
Cause that did come up. a couple
Yeah,
of
for
meetings ago.
agricultural and also.
Right,
I saw in the planning commission box, there's some,
Yeah, I stuck a bunch of stuff in.
there's some letters or emails from other towns
Hmm.
about
Yeah.
what they've done.
They're trying to do like a collective, what are you guys doing?
Yeah,
You know,
That's
Yeah,
good.
it's
That's good to know.
consistency.
yeah,
Seems like a lot of it was conditional use.
yeah. Yep.
Well, I move, we adjourn this meeting.
Second.
all in favor, say aye.
I,
Aye.
Aye. All right, very good, folks.
thank you.
You're welcome, that was good. So we end at.